All right, welcome back to the Surrey Report. It's October. This is our first COVID-friendly.
We're COVID ready.
We're COVID ready here at R West and Associates. This is Randy. We're going to talk about mounting debt and how Randy might be able to help you if you're in that situation. But first, here are the stats for last month for the City of Surrey.
The detached sales for Surrey combined for the month of September benchmark price was $1,127,900, which is up 0.9% month over month and up a whopping 7.5% year over year.
For September 2020, the board registered the most sales in its 100-year history. It's an amazing statistic. And the townhouses came in at 591,500. And that is a 0.8% increase month over month and a 4.1% increase year over year.
And in condos, benchmark price is around $401,000. That's a 4.7% increase year over year, but it's a 0.3% decrease month over month.
All right, so this is Randy West of R West and Associates, and he is a trustee in bankruptcy, correct?
That's correct.
All righty. Now, out there these days, there tends to be a lot of worry about debt, obviously given the pandemic and why we're sitting on either side. Your office, by the way, lovely that you're totally
ready
for COVID if you do need to come in and see Randy, so I appreciate that. How does somebody know if they need to contact a trustee like yourself if they have mounting debt?
Most parties, you might say, have an inkling feeling for many ways. They're watching their figures or watching their monies constantly, but more importantly, they're feeling the stress of not being able to pay their debts. And as that mounts, and if you start getting collection calls, usually that's the sign. The more proactive you are in dealing with your debt, the more we can probably work things out. It goes from there.
Okay, so if I'm considering either a proposal or some sort of bankruptcy for my own personal debt situation, is there a dollar amount where I need to go, okay, I'm in over my head?
It's relative to the person. So if a person's got a very low fixed income, let's say you're retired and you've got CPP and OAS and that's about it, then you're really looking at a bankruptcy only because you've just got nothing to afford to pay a plan. A proposal is a negotiated settlement where you are paying your creditors a set sum and usually you need a stable income to support that set sum each month. The amount varies. What I'm going to say is you never or should never really be seeking a trustee if your debt's under like 10 grand, but it's all relative. I'm dealing with debts over 3 million all the way down to roughly 15 grand.
Okay.
And believe it or not, the 10 million one or 3 million one I've got right now is a proposal.
Okay.
And we're negotiating that one's, it's not fully finalized, but you can negotiate anything that the creditors agree.
Okay, can you elaborate a little bit more the difference between a bankruptcy and a proposal?
Okay, so a proposal is a negotiated settlement between your creditors and yourself. And in a consumer proposal, all you need is 50% to bind everybody. So if you get 51%, it binds the 49, even if they said no. But it's a negotiated, they have to agree. So whereas a bankruptcy, your obligations are set by the Bankruptcy Act. It's based on income and it's based on your assets. We have to do our duties. It's a little more involved, the question, but basically it's based on the act, whereas the other one's a negotiated settlement.
Okay, so one is set by law and the other one is negotiated.
That's right.
Awesome, that's good to know. Okay, so obviously a lot of people that are watching our report every month are homeowners or interested in getting into the real estate market. So these ones are home related, these questions. If I own my home and I have to use your services for one or the other proposal or whatever, is there a chance I can keep my home?
Most definitely. The answer is yes, but you have to look on each one on its own circumstances. If you've got huge equity and no way of paying in that equity into the estate, it's going to be very difficult to do it. So you have to look at the ability, you have to look at the amount of debt, you have to look at the creditors, are they willing to negotiate? there's no set one answer, but
Okay.
many times we keep the home.
That's why we need to say, come in for a consultation,
Yep.
right? And find out exactly where you're at. Because it is very specific what you're saying, case by case basis for all of your services.
That's right.
Okay. Is there a chance if I do need to file for a bankruptcy that I could buy a home again in the future? Or is my credit so hooped that I'm renting for life?
No, most definitely you can do it. Just like all creditors they're going to be looking at your stability. If you think about once you're finished a bankruptcy, they know you've got no debt. It's kind of funny, but so they know your risk level. They also know your job and your down payments, what risk they have and what stability. So there is CMHC rules, but I'm going to say they're constantly changing. The present ones are that if you are trying to go a high ratio mortgage where you need CMHC financing, I believe there's a 5-year limitation, but that is constantly changing. As you know, CMHC
Every minute almost.
Yeah. So I'm going to say right now you can do it. We've had people come out literally 3 months after bankruptcy and start buying because their partner and the two of them had the good down payment and stable income. Do you know what I'm saying? So you can do it. Sometimes it would be advisable to go through a mortgage broker who knows a little bit about the area, though.
And there would be likely steps then to rebuild your credit.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Awesome. What are the benefits of coming and seeing a trustee like yourself as opposed to trying to deal with the creditors yourself?
A trustee, number one, is a licensed insolvency trustee. We're licensed by the superintendent. We have to do what's called an assessment, or we're required to do an assessment. And the assessment is supposed to be covering all your options. We refer people out all the time saying, you really don't need us, try this. And 90% of them take that option and work it out. The other thing is when you're trying to negotiate with a creditor, most people have more than one. So it's very difficult to negotiate with one, then another over here, and next thing you know, they all want so much and you don't have enough pool.
Okay.
We tend to pool the debt and make a plan that works on how to deal with it.
Awesome. And if somebody does need some sort of consultation, is there upfront costs? Is it back
No.
end? How does it?
We do a free initial consultation where we're trying to figure out what is your need, what is given your situation, what can we do for you? And we're going to tell you the pros and cons. And like I said, we'll refer you out if that doesn't work.
Okay.
So
Awesome. Okay. So if somebody does want to reach out to you, website, phone number, anybody or anything you can give to these guys?
My phone number is 604-591-7634. Our website is very simple, just www.rwest.ca. Couldn't get it simpler. Our website has got a great deal of information, but also by coming to see us, we can be specific. Our website's general, just like most websites are, and we can then dive down into the nitty-gritty of your situation.
Awesome. Well, Randy and I have known each other for many, many years now. We often will talk about all sorts of things, but I am very impressed with the way Randy, obviously, I mean, he's setting up his office this good. If you are having trouble with debt, if you are feeling the overwhelm, I highly recommend reaching out to Randy and finding out if there's something that he can do for you. And to be perfectly frank, you may run into people where you say, no, I can't do anything for you. I mean, this is going to be a plug for me here, but maybe selling your home might actually be the way out of your debt. Because
maybe part of the solution. Yes.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Randy. I would love to shake your hand, but we can't.
Well, tap now.
All right. Okay. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next month.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching the Surrey Report again this month, and a very special thank you to all of you who donated and helped our food drive benefiting the Surrey Food Bank. Please remember to go to YouTube, click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you next month on the Surrey Report.